Alright. We got like 5 minutes to still just kind of hang out, so we'll wait a little bit. Hey, how's it going, Nick? Not too bad. Not too bad. Happy to be on the computer and away from other things. Just waiting a few more minutes to see if anybody else joins in. Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially game development, because you can get lost in it so easy, you know. Hey, how's it going? That's alright. Just need some soda before we get started. Good thing of and bad thing of winter, you can leave your drinks outside and they stay cold, but sometimes they freeze. All right. Okay, so oh, actually, let me open that up. Now, if they fuck off, that's very true. It's very true. Unfortunately, I don't know how well it would go over if I was drinking and doing a live chat. Although nobody would know if I didn't mention it, but still, it's technically work, you know. So. Well, maybe after this class is done, I'll do a drunk live stream apart from my tutorial live stream or my tutorial YouTube channel. I'll get all my friends together and we'll play some World of Warcraft or something. All right, so yeah, welcome to Module 2, guys. Everybody's doing excellent in your teams, your team discussions. You know, I've been popping in and out kind of looking over everything, and you guys are really active, and that's awesome. Make sure, if you once you decide on a scenario, to shoot me an email and let me know. That way I can set up your repos and stuff, and get you guys all testing everything, and we'll work out any kinks you guys run into this week, before you guys really dive into that development of everything. Because Bitbucket's really important, and it's really important for you guys to have an understanding of how Git works and everything like that. So yeah. If you haven't yet, I definitely recommend you guys take a look at the Module 2 assignment review that's in the announcement section. I talk about all the assignments and stuff, and kind of what I'm expecting from them and so on. But of course, if you have any questions regarding any assignments or anything like that, please don't hesitate to email me and let me know, or message me on Discord. Okay, so here's our document here, and last time we put all of this stuff together. Hey Ryan, how's it going? Thank you for joining us. But yeah, so this is our lovely document that we put together. Very, very, very busy, I guess you could say. I got my work cut out for me. Oh, no, absolutely not. That's at the top of my list right there. Hey, David. I was going, yeah, I know, Ryan. We'll get that worked out, don't worry. We'll definitely get that all sorted out and get it all going for you. Things have a mind of their own, let's just put it that way. And just certain things don't like certain people, apparently. Ryan knows what I'm talking about. Alright, so the first things first, I kind of wanted to start off getting our... Yeah, oh yes, it does. It really, really doesn't like Ryan. But yeah, so I want to start setting up our inventory. And we'll get all of our kind of character stats and things like that set up. So then we can get some pickups and go from there. Alright? So here's our 3D side scroller. Here's our wonderful character. Let's pop him open. And bear with me momentarily. Okay, so basically what I want to do is I want to set up all of my stats first and foremost. I think that'd be a good way to go about it. Hey, Ryan. I'm going to say Ryan S and Ryan B. Unless you guys want to have nicknames. You have a nickname I want you to call you, want me to call you, or? Alright, sounds good. Fish. Alright. Your wife calls you that. Now, I won't ask for the whole story, but is that something appropriate for me to be calling you? let's just say that right now. Okay. All right. Good. I want to know the story though. Well, feel free to share the story if you're comfortable. I'm just kind of setting up some variables here. Boring stuff. Stuff the most of you probably already have a grasp on. But basically what I'm doing is I'm creating the variable here. I got a float. made it a float, and all of these other ones are also floats as well. And then I'm going to put them in a category. Player stats, and then I'll just drag the rest of these in here. Now normally a way to do this would be to use a struct, and a struct can kind of house a bunch of different stats for you, but I really don't want to do it that way, for the simple fact that I'm sorry, I'm just looking at something real quick. For the simple fact that every time you change a value of one of them, you have to kind of reset each one. And I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to handle the stats just as individual variables for now. So now that we have all of that, I want to start kind of doing my default stats. Yeah, so like when you have a structure, you get access to all the variables. So if you call a set for the structure and you separate it, I'll show you. We're going to actually create a struct now. So let's go ahead and do that. So in side scroller, I'm going to go into blueprints. We're going to do new folder, and we'll call this inventory. And basically this is going to kind of house all of our items and things like that. And it's also going to house our structure. So if we go to blueprints, structure, and I'm going to call this let's do item underscore S. Now this could be a weapon, this could be, anything really. We'll open this bad boy up, and let's go ahead and create some variables. I'm just taking a look at something real quick. Okay. So the first things first, I want our item class. This is going to be, let's just do an actor class for now. I can make it more specific later if we really want to. I'm going to do item name. It's going to be a string. I want to do some sort of damage value too. Some default damage value. We'll make that by way of float. Make another float. And because we have like the strength, we have the strength stat. I'm not going to mess with the vitality or stamina or anything in this video, but we'll mess with the strength stat a little bit. We'll go ahead and do strength. And then last but not least, we'll do a boolean. Just say, let's do is weapon. Make it a boolean. And actually I want to create one more. Health. What do I want to call that? Heal value, I guess. We'll call it heal value. Alright, so now, if is weapon is false, we can have it take a look at the heal value of it. So we can kind of use the same structure for healing items as well as weapons. Okay, and we could also have a potion that increases strength, or a potion that temporarily increases damage, things like that, without having to worry about equipping it. So this having a boolean here is really, really good. So we'll pop into our side scroller character again, create a new variable. This is going to be our inventory. And it's going to be of type item S, but it's going to be an array. So we'll click this little box here, and we'll click the grid of boxes to make it an array. And now we have an array. Right. So now what I was talking about before about setting setting one of these. Those. Oh, ha! I accidentally hit one of my macros. Let me switch my keyboard here. There we go. Okay. So if we break, you see now we have access to all of the items within that structure. But if we're set, no, it doesn't work like that. Hold on one second. Make it just a regular variable. So if I made a single structure, oh, does it? That's unfortunate. Can you pop out the chat and have it split? So what I do is I pop out the chat, and then I can put it right over here, and then I can choose the one I want to split through. Oops. I totally did that the wrong way. So I want to split, and then you can split and kind of work with two of them, and you can grab this middle one, bring it over here, and there we go. So you can see it a little bit bigger, but you just kind of grab the top corner and pop it at the side here, and it should work out fine for you. Well, good. Oh yeah, it's one of the beautiful things. Okay, so yeah, so if we get this and set it, let me split this. Oh, no, that's okay. You'd be surprised how many people don't know that. So you guys aren't alone, trust me. It's okay. But yeah, so if you set a structure, you have to set all of these back to the initial value. You know, so you have to plug each one in. Oh, that's okay. There's actually a filter on the chat. So if there's any swearing, it just comes up as stars. So you're good. Personally, I don't mind. You know, it's college. We're all adults. So, but yeah, so like I was saying, yeah. So you have to set each one. And I just don't like doing that. It's kind of a waste of time. So, so I just use individual variables for things like that. Yes, it's an important distinction, David. Adults with quotations is very important. One might say I did air quotes. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the norm now, you know. But okay, so now we have our inventory set up. We need some items, right? So let's minimize this, maximize that, and in here I'm going to create an item class of type actor, and this will be our main, or let's go with like item master, because all the other ones are going to be children of this one. Open this guy up, and let's set up our static mesh main. Let's make it a big cube for now. Let's set up a sphere collision, and I'm gonna scale this bad boy up just so we can pick it up. Attach it there. That's what I did. Throughout all of my schooling, I did the same thing. It's for research. Shh. Alright, so I'm going to grab my main here. I want to set static mesh. Oh, see, there you go. Fish has got to figure it out. Alright, so in the construction script here, I'm basically setting the static mesh that I created in the thing here. The reason I'm doing this is so I can promote this to a variable. And we can set it while it's in the level. Oh, if I could type, that would be awesome. Mesh, okay. Make that public by clicking the little eyeball there. And now we have access to that. Fine. Okay, there we go. Item mesh. Mesh. Okay. So now what we want to do is actually add our item structure variable to this item as well. So item struct is going to be of type item s. We're going to make this guy public, compile, and now we have access to all these. And now let's do our overlap event here, right? So we'll go to event graph. With our sphere selected, we want to click on component begin overlap. Now we have other actor here, so we're going to be casting this to our side scroller character. And the reason we're doing that is to basically check to see what object is overlapping this. So if this other actor is equal to the side scroller character, it'll call this event. If it is not, it'll be calling this event, which is a cast failed because it didn't detect the side scroller character as the one colliding with it. Right? So now we want to get our inventory. We want to add and we want to add this structure. Okay, so basically we're in theory adding this item to our player's inventory because this, remember, this is an array. And then we can go ahead and destroy actor. So it gives the illusion we're going to pick it up. Right. Something I'm forgetting. What am I forgetting? Okay. Well, the purpose of the struct here, I'll show you. So basically what that structure does is if I drag it out in the level, we have our item mesh, which I can set. And that was that variable that I set in the construction script, right? The item struct, however, bam, right here. So now we can give it a unique item name. So happy cube of the Holy Grail. And yeah, so right now we'll just mess around with the name. So now this object has that excellent, super excellent name. And we'll go ahead and let's make another one. I'm going to call this Tim. Okay. So now we have these two. And let's set up something where we can check to see what items. Yeah, Tim. I watched Monty Python the Holy Grail the other night and got it stuck in my head. See, Ryan knows what I'm talking about. Actually, I have a fun bit of fact for you about Monty Python the Holy Grail, and that character in particular. The character's actual name was supposed to be really, really long and complicated, but the actor actually forgot it when they were filming, And that's why he sounds kind of weird when he says, "You may call me Tim," and it's so funny. So they kept it. In case you didn't know, I love that movie. Okay, so basically what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of setting up a placeholder. Yeah, absolutely. Um, with the little star. Um, yeah, so I'm setting up a placeholder thing, basically so we could see what our what items we have in our inventory. Okay. So what I'm doing. Yes, you do need to watch this movie. Monty Python and the Holy Grail, one of the best movies ever made. Okay, so basically I just set up my inventory structure. So I plug into a for loop. Each array element, I'm breaking the struct from it, because remember, this is just an array of those structs. I'm breaking it so I have access to all that information, and then I'm just printing up the name. Help, help, I'm being repressed. There's some lovely filth down here. Okay. Yeah, so now, if I press play, walk over to our item, pick it up, press Y, it shows the item name. If I walk over, pick this guy up, it says the item names. So now I essentially have items in my inventory now. So this is pretty much the same thing as going, in Diablo 3, picking up loot and then opening up your inventory and seeing items in there. I mean, this is the bare bones function of what an inventory begins with. It's just a structure full of information about those items. Is pretty much all it is. Okay. So we have our minimalist inventory. We've got our item S. Let's see, what else do we want to do with this for now? Correct. Yep. Absolutely. So just the initial structure is just a list of variables, essentially, and then you can add that list either as an array, which is what we're doing for our inventory, or as a single public variable, so we can mess with it within the level. And this is really put here for artists. If you want stationary items, let's say you have a big dungeon and you want this super excellent item as the award at the end of the dungeon. You get through the dungeon, you see the item, you run over, you pick it up, and then all sorts of baddies come out and you start, just raging on them. This is a good method for artists who want to do that. They can import their models, add it really easily because we set up the construction script, add their static mesh or mesh, and so on. So yeah, structures are really cool. They're really fun to mess around with. A lot of capabilities with them. So now what I want to do is I want to try and equip a sword. Okay, now this is going to need to be a little bit more specialized. So I think what I might do, because I haven't made a sword model. Nah, you know what? I'll size one up myself here. Uno momento, por favor. Let's see. Alright, so I'm going to adjust this real quick. Let me just get rid of that. I'm not going to do that method right yet. That's a good way for doing regular items like potions and things like that. But this way, because it's so specific as to how you should have the scale set up for kind of what we're doing, I guess you could say, we'll do it this way. So I'm just going to scale this guy down into kind of like a sword looking shape. We'll move him up to 40. So his base is up here. And then I just want to add an arrow component. Equip. And I'm going to make that the default scene route. Right. So now we kind of have a hierarchy. So we have our equip, which is our arrow component, a main, and then the sphere. And the reason for the arrow component is just kind of a blank placeholder to make as the scene route where we know the exact location of that object. Is pretty much all that is. Don't necessarily have to do that if you don't want to, but I like doing that. Okay. Alright, so now what we want to do is go to our side-scroller character. We want to go to our mesh. And we want to go ahead and create a new skeleton, or a new socket. Sorry, my brain froze for a second. It was booting up. Okay, so we're going to add a socket. So let me show you what I just did again, because I kind of went fast. So I went to the character, mesh, and then I double-clicked the UE4 mannequin skeleton. And now right in here we have our bone hierarchy. I want to go to hand R, right-click, add socket. I'm gonna hit F. No, I'm not gonna hit F2. I lied. And double-click, call it weapon socket. And now I want to hit F to kind of scroll in and look at it. And now using our move tools here, I'm just going to try and get it in a spot that looks good. You know, it looks like it's in our guy's hand here. And I'm just kind of maneuvering around. You can hold Alt and left click to kind of rotate around a focused object, which is a good nifty little trick for level designers and programmers when they're doing this kind of stuff. So that's a pretty good location. I like that. So save, and let's go back to our side-scroller character. Alright, so basically what I'm focusing on right now is equipping this item, right? But there's a downside to it. As soon as we equip the item, we're going to go ahead and overlap that, which is going to in turn destroy that actor. So what I want to do is go to our inventory. I want to rename this guy. And I want to rename him P underscore item master. So he's going to be our pickup item. And then I'm going to just right click, duplicate. And then this is going to be our item master. And now the reason I did that is so renaming this one, it will change the references of all of the objects that I've put in the level already as P underscore item master. So this is essentially a fresh blueprint. So if I open this guy up, it's going to have the same code because I duplicated. So I'm just going to close that out. But we want to go to main, of course, in the new item master. Select the mesh and also turn collision off. And I'll show you why in a minute. Alright, so let's go ahead and work on our equipping. So I'm going to do R for keyboard input. I want to get the first index of our array. So I'm just going to pick up one item. Break. And we want to get our item class. Spawn. No. Wrong one. Spawn actor from class. Put that in. And you can go ahead and just split the transform. You don't have to plug anything into it right now. Just go ahead and split it, and you should be good to go for that. So now, I want to drag off, attach to component. We want to get our mesh as the parent, and then type in our socket name. And we want to snap target for our location and rotation. Now we should be good to go. So let's go ahead and hit play and test her out. Oh, nope, one thing. Going to our level, we got to set our item class. So this will be our item master, because remember our pickup is the one that's physically in the level for us to pick up. We've got to make sure we do this one, so that's the one that we're equipping, so it doesn't delete. Alright. So now I'll press R, and we'll see it's in the player's hand because it automatically it attaches the root to wherever the socket is. So now we have a wonderful little sword going on there. Okay, pretty cool, right? Now imagine that sword's all fancy and stuff, and it's glowing and has crazy abilities. All right. So now let's dive into. Animations. And get our character doing like a swing. So we could swing a sword here. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. It's not a lightsaber. And okay, guys, we got to talk about something here that's very important to me. The new Star Wars movies. Laser sword. Why do they keep calling it a laser sword? It's a lightsaber. I'm sorry for bringing it up. It's a bad time for me, but you know, this laser sword lightsaber thing's got to go, man. Lightsaber. It's a lightsaber. All right. Quite a few times, and actually, you know what's even sadder about the whole thing is not only did somebody call it a laser sword, Luke Skywalker calls it a laser sword in the movie. It doesn't get worse than that. Those writers just don't know what they're doing, man. Right? That's what I'm saying. That's true. He was old and bitter. But still, Luke wouldn't never have done that. Not a Jedi Master. Come on. He wasn't okay with that, actually. He you should go online and look at some of the interviews with Mark Hamill after the Star Wars movies came out. He bashes those Star Wars movies like crazy. Oh, it's not cool, man. Well, I didn't give any spoilers away. All right, so back on track here. So what I want to do is actually just use our idle animation. Yeah, I agree. I'm going to use our idle animation to create a swinging animation. Now, a disclaimer here. Oh, I just duplicated it, by the way. Disclaimer. Unreal Engine isn't all that great for creating animations, especially one that already has keyframes. So bear with me here. Okay, so I duplicated the idle animation and opened it up. I renamed it to third person swing. And now we're just going to go ahead and add in some wonderful keyframes to this to create our own little animation. So I'm going to grab the upper arm. And first thing you always want to do is make a keyframe at the beginning and the end of your animation. So key. That way it goes back to the initial pose. So now I'm going to make this really drastic. Have him go like way up. Key. Have him go way up. Key. And let's see how horrible that is. Do I need to? Bam. Bam. Beautiful. Doesn't get any better than that. I'm gonna kind of do this little thing here. Add a keyframe there. Let's take a look. There. That is one good looking animation right there, my friend. Key. Okay. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. I'm not planning on doing my actual animations in Unreal Engine, but it's just to kind of show you the blending process and everything. So that's done. That's beautiful animation right there. I'm proud of it. I'm ready to call it my own. Alright, so we're going to go to the animation blueprint. Oh no, I'm getting ahead of myself. We don't want to do that yet. You see our third person swing here? We want to right click, create, and a montage. We got our animation montage now. I'm going to save. Let's open that guy up. So first off, that needs to be a lot faster. Which is good because we can change the rate scale, which will make it go faster. So I put mine to 6. It works. So now we want to add a slot. So we want to go to our anim slot manager. Now if you do not see this, go up to Window, anim slot manager right here. Was the sword cursed? Yes. Yes, it cursed him with elbows that don't bend. He cannot bend his elbow. It's lock elbows. Alright, so we're going to add a slot. Yes. And this slot is going to be called attack. And we want to go ahead and change our group to attack. Now, this will happen. Don't be scared. It's okay. I'm just going to close it out. And then reopen it. And it should play just fine. That is... Oh my god, that is... It's a new fight style. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Whew. I just can't look at it. I can't look at it. Alright. So in the third person character, I'm sorry, side scroller character, do left mouse button, grab our mesh. We want to get an instance, and we want to call montage play. Now basically what this is doing is it's getting an instance of the animation blueprint. So initiating the montage from the animation blueprint allows it to utilize elements from the animation blueprint, which is kind of what I'm going to show you in a minute with that slot stuff that we created before. Okay, so I'm going to plug in our montage, and there we go. So now, Oh, it didn't star you. Not sure what you mean. Alright, so we're going to go into our animation blueprint. Oh, you did? Yeah, it didn't even send. That's alright. Alright, so we want to go into our animation graph within our animation blueprint. So you just double click on the anim graph here. And we want to save a cache of our default state machine here. So we want to call save. So it saves our pose. And then we want to blend, layered blend per bone. And plug this guy in. So the base pose obviously is going to be our saved saved catch pose here. So we'll plug that into base pose. Oh, you'll see. You'll see. So now we want to grab our cache pose again, grab our slot, change this slot to attack, plug it in. And now we want to actually go back to our skeleton for a second and pick a bone. So I think I'm going to go with spine 2 for now. So we'll try this out. So we'll go over here. We're going to layer setup. Add here. Down here. And spine underscore 02. I believe is what it's called. Let me double check. Alright, so spine 02. Oh, jeez, that animation kills me. Yeah, and we'll just try this out for now. We'll mess with the blend depth and stuff in a minute. Alright, so there is an issue with this code, mind you. And it's going to be a challenge for you guys. I'm going to show you kind of what the issue is, and I want to see what solution you guys will have. So we'll go ahead and hit play. And now if I click, you see I have my tech. But what the layered per blend mode does is now I can run while swinging. You see my arms doing that. Yeah. And I can hit R, equip my item. And you'll see. But my leg animation is still moving. I can even jump and do it. And my leg animations are still going. And the reason for that is because of that that layered blend per bone. So it's looking at everything above the spine 02 for one animation. And it's looking at everything below the spine 02 for the other. No, and the reason for that is the blend multiplier. No. The issue is, watch this. If I keep clicking, he'll just get stuck repeating the animation over and over again. I can actually... He could just go nuts with this. That is the issue. That I can just keep attacking over and over again. Please stop. Hey guys, what's up? But yeah, so that is the issue. Now, my question to all of you is, how do we fix it? There is an extensive way. Oh, you did, Nick? So how did you solve it? Yeah, burn it all. Delay with the button push. Oh, okay, okay. That's a good way of doing it. But what if you have different length animations? How would you work with something like that to make it universal? And that's the solution I'm going to show you right now. So there's something in montages. Oh my god, I gotta pause that. I can't watch that. You guys are stupid. That's funny. So there's something in montages called notifies. And basically what this is a notify is an event that can be called in the middle of an animation in order to call some sort of event. Now, this is usually how games create like footsteps, like footstep decals on the ground and things like that. This is a really cost-efficient way of doing this, rather than doing a line trace and detecting when the foot is touching the ground and things like that. This way, you could do it on in a timed manner based on an animation. Easily, without having to do any maths or anything like that. So how we do this is within the montage that we created, we want to go ahead a little bit. So I'll start it like there. And if you scroll down, like initially it'd be like this. If you scroll down, you'll see a section called notifies. So if we right click here, add notify, new notify, and the suit is attacking. Oh yeah, the suit is attacking. And then we'll go down here and let's end it like right there. So we'll right click, add notify, new notify. Actually, we could technically add the same one and have it toggle back and forth. But for the sake of showing, we'll do not attacking. Okay. So in here on left mouse button, I want to add a branch and add a new variable is attacking. And this is going to be of type Boolean. And we're going to have that be the condition. And so false, play. So if the character is not attacking, it'll play it. Or you could do, if you really need true to be plugged in, you could do something like that instead. If you like having true plugged in instead of false, this is another way you can do it. So now, how do we set this variable? What we want to do is go into the animation blueprint, event graph, and I'm going to try to get pawn owner, which is up here. I just copied it. If you select a node, hold down Control and hit W, it'll make a duplicate of it. Alright, so we'll right click here, is attacking, and you can see event anim notify is attacking. We'll grab that. We want to cast to side scroll character. we want to set is attacking to true. And now we want, what did I call it again? Not attacking. We want to do the same thing, but instead false. Okay? So now if I hit play, oh well, let's go back here. So now you see if the character is not attacking, true, it'll play the montage. If it is attacking, that means it's going to go false. So if we hit play, gonna pick up our sword, and no matter how many times I click, listen, I can click it over and over again, and it's only doing it once the variable is being set differently. See? Pretty cool, yeah? Cool. So in like 50 minutes, we got items equipped, we got an attack animation, we got our inventory set up, actual, picking up inventory items. Let's see. Let's damage something. Oh, absolutely. You don't even know. Okay. Sorry, just 1 second. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Sorry, guys. I'm looking up something real quick. Huh. Okay. Well, I suppose we'll stop there for now. In the next video, we'll work on doing basic damage. We'll work on doing an actual HUD. You know what? Let's dive into a HUD real quick. It won't take too long. A few minutes. We already have the variables set up, so that should be all right. So I'm going to go inside scroll BP. Going to create a HUD. Now I want to create a widget. So user interface widget blueprint. main_w. Alright, so now I want to create a basic health bar up there, just for now. I know we're going to be doing things a little bit differently, but for now we'll do this. So I want a vertical box. I want an overlay inside that vertical box. I want a progress bar. And then I want a text. Okay. So I'm going to... Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I want to fill with that. And then I want to just drag this guy out. I'm going to move him down a little. Let's change our text to just HP. And then I want to change the progress bar here to health bar. And I want to go ahead and change the color to red. And I also want to move it over this way a little from the wall. Okay, so now let's go to event graph and create a variable. We're going to name this player. We want it to be of type side scroll character. Want it to be object reference. Want instance editable expose on spawn. Compile, save. So now we go into a side scroll character. Let's go on event begin play. We want to create widget. Select the widget we made. And now because I did expose on spawn and instance editable here, we're able to see that variable here and set it. So now I could just get a reference to self for the player and then add to report. Cool. So now okay. For now I'm going to do this on event tick, but I really don't like doing that on event tick. No, I'm not going to. Just going to make an event called health bar event. Get the player, get health, and we want to divide our health by 100. Let's make sure to set the default value. Anybody know why I'm dividing the health by 100? Bingo. Progress bar goes from 0 to 1. So when your health is, let's say 90, divided by 100, you get 0.9, and so on. Well, another thing that I really like doing is creating a max health variable. And then I like getting that. And then setting Vorpal sort of elbow locking. I like that. But basically what I like doing is this. So let's say I wanted 1,000 health instead. My max health set to health, and then what I can do is get max health, plug it in there, so no matter what I change max health to, the math will always be set up for it to be able to divide between. So we can adjust that max health to whatever we want to. And it'll automatically adjust the progress bar to work with it. Right? So now our progress bar is set up. Let's set up a damage event. I want to apply damage. Let's do 15. And then I want call event any damage. And we want to subtract damage actor. I want to make sure to do self on the apply damage. And we want to subtract there. So now every time I hit the U key, I'm going to subtract 15 damage from my health. Okay. So apply. What's going on there? Did I not set this? Health. Oh, ha 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 ha. You gotta actually call this event. That's kind of important. So in construct, what I want to do is call this once just to set it, and then I want to promote to variable widget. Plug this in. So now what we can do is get that widget and call that event. So health bar event, and plug it in. So now every single time the player takes any kind of damage from any source, so if you call this apply damage function here, it's going to call this event no matter where it's from. So as long as the damaged actor is set to the side scroller character, it'll call this event. So when it calls this event, it's going to automatically update our health bar event in the widget. So you'll see we have our health bar. If I hit U, it subtracts 15 health. But like what I was saying before about our max health, let's make this like 500 instead. File, save. Now it's 500, so in theory, when I hit U, it should be much smaller amount taken away, which it was. And then, I don't know, 5 million. You should barely even see it, if you can't see it at all. You can't even see it. There's so much, so much out there. Yeah, it's not even gonna. A little too much. Let's try. It's definitely someone worthy of a Vorpal sword. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Destiny Balls. Okay, so I think I set it to like 50,000. And with me like double clicking this key here, I'm able to get it down a little bit. It's like a WoW boss. But yeah. So I'd say this has been a pretty successful stream. We got equipping items, we got attacking, we got inventory set up, we've got items, we've got damage, and we've got a health bar. All in an hour, so I'd say that's pretty good, and it's a pretty good spot to stop for next stream. Oh good, I'm glad. I'm so glad. Thank you. No problem, everybody. Y'all have a good night, and we're going to be having a stream, I believe, at 9 on Thursday, unless I mixed up my days and today was supposed to be the 9 o'clock stream. And if that's the case, then I apologize. Let me see. Nope, Thursday. Okay. So we'll have another stream Thursday. If you need anything, message me on Discord or shoot me an email. Otherwise, have an excellent night, and I'll talk to you guys in Discord. Thanks. Thanks for coming, everybody. Appreciate it.